So for the most part in the overnight session, ES has been balancing within yesterday's range. We saw a test below yesterday's low where responsive buyers stepped in, and from there we saw a move back up towards yesterday's initial resistance zone, which has now been adjusted to 51.17 to 51.27. Heading into the open, our intermediate term bias will continue to be neutral, and our short term bias will be neutral bearish, and we'll be using the 51.17 to 27 area as the initial resistance as well as the intraday bull bear zone. So as long as the market is holding below that zone, the sell side would still have potential to maintain short-term control, and the market could still end up either balancing within the overnight range or eventually even trying to break lower. So on the upside, 51.17 to 27 is going to be key. That is the intraday bias changing zone. On the downside, we have pre-market support at 5,097 quarter to 51.02 quarter, and holding above that zone would be a sign of stability on the smaller time frame, and a breakdown below it would be an early sign of intraday weakness, which can then result in a move down into the initial support at 5,074.5 to 84.5, where buyers may still defend, and we will need to see signs of initiative selling in order to get a sustainable breakdown below initial support, and a break and hold below 5,074.5 on broad market weakness and sustained downside momentum would serve as an intraday bearish confirmation, and that can then result in downside range expansion into 5,054 to 64, as well as 5,030 half to 40 half. And the more exhausted the market gets on the downside, the higher the odds of responsive buyers stepping in. So by default, we will continue to give more edge to the sell side, and then in order for the recent bearishness to continue and in order for us to get a bearish confirmation, we would need to see a proper balance breakdown below initial support, which is the bias confirming zone. So that is the market context and plan heading into the open. Let's see how the real-time situation shapes up and how the market behaves at the initial resistance as well as the pre-market and initial support zone. That will help set the bias and tone on the day, and we'll take it from there.